Being a man is far more than merely existing in the world with certain physical attributes or external achievements. It is a commitment to living by principles that give you a sense of direction, purpose, and pride. From the moment you wake up in the morning until the instant your head hits the pillow at night, every decision you make shapes who you are and who you will become. Society often tells us that manhood is about projecting a tough exterior, collecting flashy status symbols, or showcasing shallow markers of success. But genuine manhood runs deeper. It is about understanding what you stand for and letting that clarity guide your actions, your words, and your relationships. In this vast world, it can be tempting to drift, to let circumstances or the opinions of others decide your path. Yet the essence of being a man is learning to chart your own course, even when the wind is against you. It means summoning the fortitude to say, I will not be defined by my fears, my critics, or my setbacks. I will be defined by my values, my determination, and my willingness to grow. There is a measurable power in knowing that you don't have to be a passive recipient of life's challenges. Rather, you can face them, stand your ground, and continue forward. True manhood starts from within. It requires that you look at yourself with unflinching honesty and accept both your strengths and your weaknesses. It demands that you acknowledge your own flaws while cultivating the mindset necessary to transform those flaws into areas of strength. This process, though daunting, is liberating. When you realize that you have the power to shape your life, you begin to see obstacles not as dead ends but as stepping stones. They become catalysts for personal evolution. Ultimately, being a man is not about being fearless or infallible. Instead, it is about embracing your humanness fully, recognizing that doubts, insecurities, and hardships are universal experiences. What sets you apart is how you deal with them. Do you shrink back, or do you dare to fight through the rough patches? Do you blame external factors, or do you take control of your destiny? As we journey together to the principles of responsibility, character, leadership, emotional mastery, and legacy, remember that every step forward is an opportunity to become the man you were meant to be. The foundation of authentic manhood lies in taking responsibility for your life. Responsibility, in its simplest form, refers to your ability to respond. It involves recognizing that you are not merely a product of your environment or a passive player in your own story. Instead, you are the primary decision maker, the driver behind the wheel. Whether it's a job you hold, the home you live in, or the relationships you sustain, these are consequences, good or bad, of the choices you make each day. Many people fall into the habit of pointing fingers. They attribute their setbacks to a flawed system, challenging circumstances, or the unpredictable twists of fate. While external factors do indeed influence our paths, the essence of being a man is a willingness to shoulder the outcomes of our actions. Accountability is a form of mental toughness. It means you no longer pass the blame to your family, your boss, your peers, or any other external entity. Instead, you look inward and ask, what could I have done differently? Or how can I make the situation better? This mindset grants you a sense of control, for you cease to be a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your trajectory. Owning your life also entails confronting your failures with a steadfast heart. It's not about never failing. It's about how you respond when you do fail. Each time you encounter defeat, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to self-pity or resignation, where you remain stagnant and let the pain define you. The other path is lined with humility, self-reflection, and the readiness to adapt. By choosing that second path, you transform each mistake into an invaluable lesson. You develop resilience, a trait that equips you to handle greater challenges down the line. When you adopt a stance of personal accountability, you liberate yourself from the shackles of excuses. Excuses might provide momentary comfort, but they trap you in a cycle of inaction. The simple yet profound decisions say, I am responsible for my own life, is a powerful catalyst. It empowers you to reshape your habits, sharpen your skills, and redefine your goals. It solidifies your sense of purpose, reminding you that every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger masterpiece that is your life. Progress never comes without sacrifice. This principle echoes across history, manifesting in the stories of men who have transformed their lives and the lives of those around them by choosing to give something up now for something greater later. Sacrifice often appears in mundane forms. Waking up earlier to study a new skill, working extended hours to provide for your loved ones, or declining social invitations so you can devote more time to your craft. These acts might seem small on the surface, but their cumulative effect is immense. Over time, each conscious choice to forego short-term comfort for long-term payoff shapes you into a man with discipline, vision, and unshakable resolve. Yet, sacrifice is not just about tangible elements like time or money. Sometimes, the hardest sacrifice involves letting go of pride or ego. Many men stumble not because they lack talent or determination, but because they are unwilling to learn from others or adapt to new realities. The willingness to say, "I don't know everything. I can learn from someone else," can be a monumental sacrifice in itself. Letting go of unproductive habits, toxic mindsets, or draining relationships can hurt in the short term, but it is part of the price you pay to access a brighter, more purposeful future. In the modern world, there is a pervasive desire for instant gratification. Advertisements, social media, and pop culture often promote shortcuts to wealth, rapid fame, or effortless success. Yet true strength arises from overcoming challenges that require commitment and endurance. The man who chases fleeting shortcuts might enjoy a temporary high, but he remains perpetually fragile because he hasn't tested or toughened himself through genuine sacrifice. In contrast, the man who consistently sacrifices his comfort grows internally, fostering qualities like tenacity and grit that stand firm when life inevitably strikes with hardship. The question you must ask is, what am I willing to surrender to become a man I aspire to be? Whether it's relinquishing leisure hours to refine your abilities or sacrificing financial stability for a season to pursue a bigger goal, these decisions define your path. Every sacrifice is an investment in your future self. It might not yield immediate rewards, but with patience and unwavering commitment, it accumulates into a legacy that few can dispute. The capacity for sacrifice is a cornerstone of authentic strength, one that endures beyond the passing trends of the world. Life will test you. It will place hurdles in your path, present you with complexities you didn't see coming, and occasionally knock you off balance when you least expect it. Adversity is a universal condition, touching every individual regardless of their background or aspirations. The real question is not whether you'll face obstacles, but how you will respond when they materialize. The mark of a true man is his ability to adapt, persevere, and convert setbacks into catalysts for growth. When you stare down adversity, you stand on the threshold of transformation. Each challenge you encounter is an invitation to uncover hidden strength and amplify your potential. The initial sting of hardship, failure in an important exam, rejection from a dream job, or a heartbreaking end to a meaningful relationship, can be disorienting. But once that shock subsides, you have a choice. You can either label yourself a victim and sink into stagnation, or you can rise above, leveraging each failure as a building block for future success. This capacity to extract lessons from adversity is the hallmark of resilience. It offers you the clarity to realize, I survived that storm and I'm still standing. What can I handle next? Another powerful benefit of overcoming adversity is empathy. Experiencing pain, disappointment, or hardship personally can heighten your sense of compassion for others. Men who have walked through the fire tend to emerge with a deeper understanding of human struggle, making them better leaders, friends, and partners. They know what it feels like to fall down and how crucial it is to have someone reach out with encouragement or guidance. In that sense, adversity doesn't only mold your character, it also enriches your relationships and broadens your perspective. None of this implies that adversity is comfortable or that you should seek it out recklessly. Instead, it is a natural phenomenon that arises as you stretch beyond your current limitations. When tough situations arise, lean into them. Ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me? And how can I come out on the other side stronger and wiser? Every setback, heartbreak, or tough break is also a springboard. If you choose to harness adversity rather than let it swallow you, you gain a powerful tool for self-discovery. This mindset shift, viewing every obstacle as an avenue for evolution, allows you to walk your path with a sense of dignity and courage that defines true manhood. No matter how many accomplishments adorn your resume or how high you ascend on the social ladder, everything can crumble if your character is weak. Character, at its essence, is a reflection of who you are when no one is looking. It is a set of moral and ethical principles that guide your behavior and influence your decisions. Integrity, meanwhile, stands as the beating heart of character. It's the unwavering commitment to honesty and moral consistency. Together, character and integrity ensure that what you say aligns with what you do, even if no applause or recognition follows. Building strong character takes consistent effort, day after day, in both trivial and significant matters. When you promise to keep a secret, do you keep it, even if it could serve your interest to disclose it? When faced with an ethical gray area at work, do you cut corners for personal gain or hold yourself to a higher standard? These might seem like small or isolated decisions, but they weave the tapestry of your character over time. Repeatedly choosing honor, kindness, and respect create an internal compass that guides you reliably, regardless of external pressures. A man with unwavering character attracts respect and trust. People sense authenticity. They can discern whether your convictions stand firm or fall apart under scrutiny. This doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. Rather, having solid character means you step forward to own your errors, seeking to rectify them without blaming others. This approach fosters genuine respect because it demonstrates humility and accountability, traits that are increasingly rare in a world often driven by blame shifting and finger pointing. Moreover, character defines the legacy you leave behind. A mansion, a luxury car, or any other material symbol of success eventually fades. However, the impression you make on the people who cross your path, the memories of how you treated them or inspired them, endures. When people speak of a man with unwavering character, they speak with admiration, gratitude, or even reverence. Character transcends social status, professional titles, and fleeting recognition. It's the bedrock upon which enduring respect, meaningful relationships, and genuine self-confidence are built. A man committed to developing his character invests not just in his own future, but in the world he shapes around him. In many corners of society, leadership is misunderstood as having authority over others, barking orders, taking credit for collective achievements, or seeking the limelight. Yet, genuine leadership is about much more than wielding control. It's about serving those who rely on your guidance and standing as a model for how to conduct oneself in both triumph and hardship. Leadership arises from setting an example that others naturally want to follow, not from demanding compliance or admiration. To be a leader, you don't necessarily need a formal title or a corner office. Family life, local communities, friendships, or sports teams all provide arenas where leadership qualities shine through. The core of true leadership is the willingness to shoulder responsibility for the well-being and progress of others. When times get tough, a real leader steps forward, not to command attention, but to make decisions that safeguard and benefit the group. Doing so requires courage, humility, and a clear sense of purpose, qualities that are cultivated day by day through reflection and self-improvement. Leadership also involves a capacity to lift others up, rather than feeling threatened by someone else's potential. A true leader invests in helping people realize their strengths. He mentors, guides, and encourages, understanding that real influence isn't about hoarding power, but about multiplying it. Every time you motivate a co-worker to develop new skills or help a friend navigate a personal crisis, you're practicing leadership in its purest form. This style of leadership forges lasting bonds of loyalty and respect, precisely because it's grounded in service, not ego. At its core, leadership is about trust. People follow a man who is transparent in his ambitions, steady in his decision-making, and earnest in his efforts to support others. Any facade of arrogance or manipulation ultimately crumbles. By contrast, humility and honesty serve as the bedrock of sustained leadership. When you show that you're willing to roll up your sleeves, do the hard work, and share credit generously, others will want to stand beside you. This trust extends beyond short-term projects. It builds reputations that can shape entire communities and even inspire future generations. Modern culture often perpetuates the idea that a real man never shows emotion, never flinches, never cries, and never hesitates. But true emotional mastery doesn't mean shutting down your feelings. It involves recognizing, understanding, and channeling them in ways that serve you and those around you. Emotions, whether they be joy, anger, sorrow, or excitement, are a natural part of being human. They become strengths when you harness them strategically, turning raw impulses into purposeful responses. Imagine you're confronted with a heated argument. You could erupt in fury, letting anger cloud your judgment. Or you could acknowledge the emotion coursing through you. Admit to yourself that you're upset, then take a breath, listen carefully, and respond with composure. Such control not only prevents regretful outbursts, but also garners respect from others. Emotional mastery doesn't suggest indifference. It means staying fully aware of what you feel, while refusing to let those emotions dictate destructive behavior. Fear is one of the most potent emotions men grapple with. Fear of failure, fear of ridicule, or fear of the unknown can become walls that confine us, keeping us from tapping into our potential. However, fear also has a hidden gift. It pinpoints areas where growth is possible. Each time you confront a fear, you challenge a boundary that fear has set. Running from it keeps the boundary intact. Confronting it widens your horizons. It might be terrifying to step into the unknown, a new career path, a crucial conversation, or a bold ambition. Still, taking that leap is often the only way to discover the depth of your own capabilities. By learning to manage emotions, including fear, rather than be controlled by them, you gain the clarity to make decisions that align with your values. This discipline builds trust in yourself, for you come to realize that you can handle adversity without being thrown off course. Over time, you develop the confidence to engage with life fully, unencumbered by the chains of unchecked impulses or crippling anxieties. Emotional mastery isn't just about holding it together. It's about transforming emotional energy into wisdom and action. This skill allows you to live more honestly, connect with others on a deeper level, and navigate challenges with a sense of calm determination. Being a man in the truest sense means standing on your own 2 feet, grounded in your principles, while remaining open to learning and evolving. Independence is not about isolation. It's about realizing that your worth does not hinge on others' opinions or constant approval. An independent man listens to advice, seeks new perspectives, and embraces collaboration. But at the end of the day, he trusts his own judgment to move forward. This self-reliance fuels resilience. For when storms arise, he knows he has the inner fortitude to endure them. He may accept help, but he doesn't wait around for anyone else to chart his course. Respect, in turn, forms a glue that binds men to society in a positive, constructive way. Without respect, both for yourself and for others, your independence can become arrogance, and your strength can morph into intimidation. Treating others with dignity, seeking to understand their viewpoints, and honoring boundaries fosters goodwill and trust. At the same time, respecting yourself means maintaining your standards, refusing to compromise your core values just to appease someone else. It means acknowledging your own worth and expecting others to do the same. Yet manhood is not a static state. It is a constant journey of self-improvement. Each stage of life presents new questions, new hurdles, and new ways to grow. Whether you're developing professional skills, cultivating empathy, or building emotional resilience, your evolution never truly ends. This continuous pursuit of betterment is what keeps you sharp, humble, and adaptable. As the world changes, you adjust, always guided by the moral compass you've established. Finally, reflect on the mark you wish to leave behind. Your legacy. Legacy extends far beyond material possessions or fleeting popularity. It's the sum of the values you've imparted and the lasting impact of your actions. When people remember you, will they speak of your honesty, kindness, and determination? Will they recall how you lifted them up, inspired them to push beyond their limitations, and demonstrated compassion when it mattered most? By committing to principles such as responsibility, integrity, and empathy, you create an enduring influence that persists long after you're gone. Remember, this path is not always smooth, but it's the only path that leads to a life of fulfillment and significance. Every day, every decision, and every triumph or setback is an opportunity to embody what it means to be a man. By embracing responsibility, showing up with unwavering character, leading through service, managing your emotions wisely, and focusing on leaving a positive legacy, you take giant strides toward living a life of purpose. Stand tall, take ownership, and let the world see the man you are building yourself to be. That is where true strength resides, and it's waiting for you to claim it.